Bueno, amigos de Lucha HSP, we're back with another episode. This one a little bit later, just because, life. And this we do it because of the love of it, not because of a contract. We wish it was a contract. It would be so much easier. Get paid to watch wrestling and talk about wrestling, man. How good would that be? One day, hopefully. But like always, you guys can find us on all the social media. So we're on Instagram, Spotify, we everywhere, just easy. Go to our link in our bio in Instagram. Linktree, then you got all our links, especially YouTube, that we put in snippet of the show, of the podcast, and also when Renzo puts the good promos that we got for each episode on Instagram, we put it back in there as a short, so pretty fun. Like I said, always, not by myself, and with the voice of violence, Marce and Simbra Renzo. How you guys doing?
Hey, man, good to be back. As you said, a couple of days late, but yeah, like always, life gets in the way of wrestling.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back, and hopefully now you can hear me a lot clearer with a new mic. So life's good.
Looking good, man. Looking full professional.
I know, there, all of us. Amazing. What's happening?
It is what it is. And we're going to get kicked off with the WSW in Sydney. You guys went to it. For the people that doesn't know, World Series of Wrestling, if I'm wrong when I'm saying it. They bring a show every single year to Australia, more than once a year. Normally they bring big stars.
Couple times, yeah.
Yeah, a couple times a year. Big stars, big matches happening. Some of the actual wrestlers have been AEW, Impact, name it. A lot of New Japan guys as well sometimes. So
New Japan
a lot
guys.
of stuff. But I'll leave it to you guys. You guys went there. So how was it?
Yeah, man, it was a fantastic night out at the wrestling with my tag team partner, the armless one, Renzo. It was a great night. Like I said, it was out at Panthers in Penrith. For those people that don't live in Sydney or don't live in Australia, it's about an hour away from the city centre in the western suburbs, just near the mountains. It was a great night. As I was waiting for Renzo outside, I happened to bump into a person you might know by the name of Zion Quinn.
Yeah,
and he was great guy. Had a bit of a chat. He was nice enough to cut a promo for the pod for us, which I'm sure you'll be seeing soon. The wrestling action itself, as always with WSW, World Series Wrestling, it was top shelf. The promoter, Adrian Monero, who I also had an opportunity to speak with briefly, he always brings out the top talent. You can tell he's a wrestling fan. He's not just a promoter. He knows who he brings out. He just doesn't bring out, ex-WWE guys that, are doing the indie circuits. No, he brings out young guys and main event guys in a lot of the indies, even the indie god, Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
Regained his WSW heavyweight title with the help of those dodgy Greeks from Melbourne. What's their name, Renzo?
I can't remember their name, man. They've got I think I've got it somewhere here.
It's something. I can't believe I've forgotten their name, but they're really good, great heels, natural heels, really good wrestling ability too. It was a great night. The Parea. That's it. Shout out to the Parea, which I'm sure we'll tag in our socials. Renzo, what did you think?
Oh man, this was my first event, so I'd never been to a WSW event, and I've heard so much about it, not only from Mars, but my Uber driver that was driving me to the event. He was upset that he couldn't get tickets. He'd gone every year, and he was just rattling off the names of the amount of people that he'd seen, like the Young Bucks, Bryan Danielson, Johnny Morrison, he was just kept naming them, and I was like, wow, he was getting me pumped. So by the time I met Mars, man, I was really hyped. So it was a great event. The atmosphere was electric. The crowd was red hot. I've never seen anything like it for Australian wrestling.
Rabid, absolutely
rabid. Yeah, rabid.
Vocal. Saw a couple of kids there. It's really definitely not the event to take your kids to. I'll give you that too.
Definitely not. Definitely not. But no, look, the crowd was amazing, and it's good to see the mix of Australian wrestlers with the guys that are in New Japan, that are in Impact, AEW. So it was absolutely amazing. We met a couple of Aussies as well. Charlie Evans, who is currently wrestling for PS, I think it is, PSA or PSA, Pro Wrestling Australia. PWA, that's the one. PWA, that's it. And so she cut a promo for us. Mars got to talk to Eric Redbeard, which was an absolute spin out.
Yeah. Talking metal with Eric Redbeard, talking Cannibal Corpse, and who was your favorite lead singer?
Wow.
That was just that was a highlight of my night. Absolutely.
And just seeing the wrestlers we had the opportunity to be in the signing area, and just seeing how big Brian Cage is. Oh my Lord. Wow, man. That guy's a beast. One of the things that I was shocked in seeing was Sean Spears. I didn't know he was that tall. Sean Spears is actually tall. He doesn't look that tall on television, but he's tall.
Oh, come on, man. The wrestlers you got around, they're huge, man. Anyone looks small next to them.
Yeah, that's the thing too. When you see them in real life like that close, because it was just in a small theater, that's when you can really appreciate the size of these guys and just really put into perspective their athleticism, which is insane.
Absolutely.
Like if more non-wrestling fans, not that we give a shit what they think, but if more non-wrestling fans were to go to wrestling events, I think they'd give our sport much more respect than what they do, because 100%. It really is. It's great. And just going back to the local talent, that's one good thing that World Series Wrestling and Adrian Manera do, is they give local talent the opportunity to get valuable experience with these international guys, with these indie guys. And that's priceless. I was particularly impressed with a local guy who I've seen wrestle many times before, and I'm always impressed by him. The Rapscallion, Mick Moretti.
Oh my God,
Moretti, man, he's one of my favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
I've seen him in PWA. I got the luxury to meet him when I went to watch PWA with Mad Max. Shout out to Mad Max. I got to hold the titles. At that time he had 2 titles. I was able to hold them. Man, he's a gun. And he's also for the people a little bit in Lucha Fantástica, for the ones people that know.
Yeah, that's right.
He's in Lucha Fantástica as well, because all the PWA guy goes there. But man, he's by far one of my favorites here.
Absolutely. I mean, very impressive wrestling wise. And you want to talk about zero body fat, you want to talk about Mick Moretti.
Absolutely.
Mate, and he incorporates bits of humor. I've lightened up since the last podcast. You guys will be happy to know. So I don't mind a bit of funny stuff in wrestling.
Oh, you good? Yeah, you get it.
And Mick Moretti incorporates that. And he had a really good bout. If you follow Mick Moretti, Mike Bailey.
And Mick Moretti, if you follow him, also he's been transforming his character as well. So if you follow him, like I follow on social media, so he's been doing transformation. At some point, he had a really funny haircut when he's just bald all here, and he had the head on the side.
He still got it.
He still got it. He's just funny guy, man.
Yeah.
That fight with Speedball, Mike Bailey, wow, man, that was the match of the night. Mick Moretti and Speedball, they had an amazing fight, man, and just the caliber of wrestler that Speedball is as well. And he's got a fight coming up against, oh my God, I just forgot his name. English guy is in AEW, comes in New Japan.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
What's his name? Holy shit, I forgot his name. How could I forget?
English.
Saber or something like that. Saber or something.
No, the other one. No, the other one. Here he is. He's going to fight Will Ospreay. At Bound for Glory.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So he's fighting Speedball is fighting Will Ospreay, and that's going to be an amazing match at Bound for Glory this weekend, October 21st. And we're going to see a whole heap of guys, Mars, in that Bound for Glory, the ABC. is in there with the tag team from
Representing
the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Represented the Bullet Club, yeah, absolutely. So no, man, it's going to be great. So yeah, but the event that Mars and I went to, amazing, man. I've never seen anything like it. I don't think I'll ever see anything like it. Something of that caliber put on here in Australia. It's just so good.
I'll just tell you that's the way WSW is. All their events are like that. They really set the standard in terms of wrestling promoting here in Australia. With international product. And obviously, there was also the main event, which was Matt Cardona versus the chairman, the Perfect 10, Sean Spears.
Nice.
That involved going through like wooden doors. That involved a lot of chairs. It was a great bout, absolutely great bout. And then there was also a three-way bout between three ladies. It was Charlie Evans, Harley Cameron, and CJ Lee, I think it was, wasn't that? Oh, Cassie Lee.
Cassie Lee.
Yeah.
It's the current champion, isn't it?
So which was very good. So a good match, good technical wrestling, some big bumps, and had the crowd going off. All the fights did. It was, as I said, it was a rabid crowd. It was great. It was so much fun.
I think the only thing that I was kind of not necessarily disappointed because it was great to see, but Brian Cage had a really short match, squash match. But you could tell why they wanted to protect him because he's got a storyline in AEW with Swerve Strickland. So, they were protecting him definitely, but still good to see Brian Cage demolish some poor guy. Some local talent.
But he's got a story to tell, doesn't he? So,
He does.
Yeah.
God damn.
So I'm looking forward to hopefully we get a chance to have a chat with the promoter, Adrian Manera. We're trying to tee that up. He's a busy man, but I'm sure we can work something out. So I'll try and get in contact with him and find out the goss in terms of like his background and his wrestling association and where WSW is going.
Yeah, man. It's looking the way WSW has been, like we were saying, big for a long time. They brought like massive wrestlers like Rhino, Jeff Jarrett, Bryan Danielson, Ricochet, Austin Aries, Johnny Impact. At one point was Johnny Dananda, Robbie Eagle. We know one of the most crazy.
Buddy Matthews was here a couple of years ago when I saw him as well.
Yeah, Marty Skull. Just his name, and there's so many. They come this way, and every single time it's great matches. I always heard that's good matches. I haven't been able to get tickets lately. I know I missed the one here in Brisbane, but you guys were lucky enough to be the other one. Yeah. So hopefully at one point I can go and watch it as well. So shout out to WSW. Awesome. That's great to go and see, good quality wrestling and also good local talent to have some titles and good runs.
I think that's that they're good quality wrestling and they put on a great show, man. They really do. So shout out to everyone that put that event together. And the crowd was really well behaved, rowdy, but really well behaved. Yeah. Everyone was really into it. So great event.
And if you're listening to this and you get a chance to go to any indie wrestling show, go. I mean, don't expect WWE production. Don't expect WWE hype, but you will get to see some really good wrestling talent. You'll get to see some good moves, and you get to see stuff in live shows that they just won't show on TV, which is fun too. And I saw a bit of that when I was over in the US watching like at Raw and SmackDown. Like they do stuff during the commercials, which is like you will never get to see it on TV. So if you can go out to watch an indie wrestling show and support the scene, do it because it's important that we all do, because that's what keeps our product alive. That's what keeps this sport going. It's
100%.
not just it's not just the tip of the iceberg. It's the whole iceberg, and you really need to support the whole thing.
100%. And if you're in a promotion needs live commentary, well, you got us if you want. Happy to see happy to do live commentary. I think
in Spanish or English.
In Spanish and English, we can do both. We can do a lot of. So you got Spanish, English. You can do live commentary. We can do live streams, man. Happy to help out to the product, and it'll be fun too if it ever happens. So shout out to WSW. Hopefully you can see, like Mars said, talk to Adrian Manera. the promoter, and then just get a bit more on the inside how he got started with this and where is this going in the next few years. But with this, we jump to the weekly go around the wrestling universe outside of, we got to go back to WWE and AEW because goddamn it's giving us a lot lately. Always giving space, of course, to independent wrestling, but gotta jump into the SmackDown, especially because last week the Tribal Chief got back to SmackDown, and a lot happened. A lot happened in that SmackDown. Marce, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, as you said, there was the return of the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, as Paul Heyman would say. Long overdue. Although it was good. Like absence makes the heart grow fonder. You know what they say. So it was good that he skipped a few weeks and took some time off. But it was definitely good to have him back. For me, it was a bit underwhelming, to tell you the truth. Reason being is because he just accepted Jimmy back into the fold like nothing happened, and that hasn't been explained yet. I'm still waiting to see why they're just glossing over the fact that it was Jimmy that was the one that initially turned, and yet he's welcomed back. It was Jimmy that stopped Jay from beating Roman Reigns. I can't remember the pay-per-view which one it was, but it was because he didn't want him to turn into Roman Reigns. Yet now here he is. Jimmy's back in the bloodline, back in the fold. So for me, that's what's lacking at this point. I'll probably address it later, but it was good to have him back. Obviously, they're setting something up with LA Knight.
And not just LA Knight.
Yeah.
Not just LA Knight.
Not just LA Knight, I know. Not just LA Knight. Obviously, John Cena's helping to lay the groundwork, and as he always does, just paying it forward. And for LA Knight, who's we're big fans of on this show. So no, it was. I'm interested to hear what your guys' thoughts were on the return of the Tribal Chief.
Oh man, it was interesting to see him back. The whole thing with with Jimmy. Sorry, with Jimmy. Yeah, I was getting confused. With Jimmy is you can tell when he was in those short videos and stuff like that. He's pretending like he's okay with him and back, and just making believe that nothing happened, but it's not the case. He's like, I'm the quarterback, I'm the calling the shots, not you. Like, what are you doing? You're drinking my water. You're sitting on my couch. So he's playing it like a bit, kind of making him believe like, hey, everything is all right, but you got to do what I want you to do, and eventually something's gonna happen. So I think he's playing it really well, and in that sense, what I loved was, to be honest, the promo the Karrion Kross cut. That just send a little bit of fucking span to the works, man. Just him looking at the Tribal Chief and Cody Rhodes face to face, and he's looking in the background with his arms crossed. I'm like, it's a 4-way now. We got LA Knight, we got Karrion Kross, we got Cody Rhodes, and we got the Tribal Chief. So this story just got bigger out of nowhere, which is great. And we already know that Karrion Kross and AJ Styles still got something happening. So still something there. I like, look, to be honest, I like the way they brought him back. The ending when it's LA Knight. But the best out of all of it is just fucking Paul Heyman, man. Just Paul Heyman.
Oh, yeah, of course. The genius.
His hair go back to his color.
Yeah.
Go back to normal. But more than anything, the face that he put as soon as he heard LA Knight's music, like you can feel like he's not, like with any other wrestler, he's like, here comes another guy who wants to bow. When you hear Paul Heyman, he hears LA Knight music, it's like, holy shit, no, this guy, please no. Like, kind of, he knows he might be the guy that beats the Tribal Chief. That's why he's selling you with the facial expressions, which it will be interesting if that's what actually happens. It's not Cody Rhodes. It suddenly ended up happening with LA Knight. Because at the moment, the story is all scrambled. The story is all scrambled at the moment. They still got the face-to-face with Cody Rhodes. We saw it. The new GM, Nick Aldis, which we're going to talk about soon, kind of had to stop the things and tell him what the fuck. To be honest, Nick Aldis looks short against everyone. And Nick Aldis is huge. Yeah. And he looks so small, man. Yeah, I freaked when I looked at that. I don't know what they did, but he looks so small next to him. And he's massive. So I don't know. This I love it. The way they learn it out. It's still not explaining the absent. He did address what was happening with Jay. Like saying, why is he walking around with the titles? Why is he walking around with Kurochi?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Like, why is this happening? Like, someone explained to me. So he kind of addressed it a little bit. So he kind of started to, put the things together. So it looks like he was completely out. Like he was just disconnected. And whatever, Paul Heyman was telling him, that's all he knew, which is a good seller. Like just to say, I was completely disconnected. Paul Heyman was my only point of contact. And it's got here and just everything just scrambled. What the fuck? Like, what's going on here,
Yeah. No, I'm with you guys. Mars mostly because I don't necessarily know where it goes from here, man. I'm kind of confused. They need to pick it up. It's good that he's got he hasn't been, well, they're playing the story that he hasn't been involved, so he doesn't know what really is kind of happening. So he's been no communication kind of thing. So, but that's a good thing. But yeah, I don't know. Now LA Knight's getting involved. Oh man, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, without doubt. And there's, I don't know if you wanted to talk about Raw today, Rod, because you've already killed it for me. You've told me what happened.
Sorry, I had to. Look, continue with SmackDown a little bit. One of the things that we talked and we talked about, I don't know how many times we said it with Renzo. We always say, what the fuck is going to happen with Nick Aldis? He's gone for NWA. He's nowhere to be seen. He starts going Impact, but we say hopefully wherever he goes, he doesn't go as a wrestler. He'll be awesome, and he just shows up in WWE, the new SmackDown, GM, and I love that. Perfect role for him because he's like a Triple H kind of guy. He could get involved and smash guys out, and he's actually signed as an active wrestler. He will have some matches. Yeah. So that's going to be great.
He's a producer too. Well,
he's a producer. Like I loved it. It's great the way they put him in. And you see three massive guys, head of everything: Raw, SmackDown, and Triple H. The three of them, they're huge. Like the three of them could wrestle. Mm-hmm. I think one of them is the only one who hasn't wrestled. But the three of them looks like they could actually out wrestle anyone. So that was awesome. What do you guys think about the signing of Nick Aldis into WWE?
Well, we already knew they'd signed him as a producer. That was a couple of months back. But the fact that they're using him as on-air talent, I think that's fantastic. I think he adds a lot. I think he's got a lot of knowledge, a lot of creative knowledge. And I think this is the first opportunity he's had with WWE, or was he in it previously for a short time? Well, I can't remember. I think it might be the first time. More than likely.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, but no, he's. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think it's good that they've got a GM for both, one for Raw, which is Adam Pearce, and one for SmackDown, because Adam Pearce was just both in Raw and SmackDown, and just it was too much. So it's good that they've got two different GMs now, and it's always great seeing Triple H in a ring, even if he's not wrestling. He's definitely my favorite of all time. So it was great to see him.
He's only been in. No, he's never been in WWE, by the way. Renzo?
No, I didn't think so. Yeah. Mm.
No, look, it's great. Nick Aldis. We've been talking about Nick Aldis moving to WWE for a really long time. For months now, we've been talking about this. There were rumors about AEW and things like that, but I think that going to WWE, perfect, man. He's great. The knowledge of wrestling that he has is outstanding. He's helped, NWA, Impact, a whole heap of other federations, in relation to storyline. So he coming in as a producer as well. Awesome. That's a great win for WWE.
100%, and I love what he did with Dom. That was hilarious. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of your father, and he turns around. It's just fucking awesome. I cracked myself up. So that was great, and he got involved straight away. Like we said, he got involved straight away. Not just in that moment. He got also involved in the background, talking to to Charlotte. Also, we saw Jade Cargill get involved there, so we can see something going face to face. Jade Cargill has been on screen a lot.
Finally. Yeah.
A lot, which is great. We knew that. It looks like she's going. At the moment, we don't know where she's going. The only person she has to face is Mami, but she's faced Charlotte. I think she's done it with Becky Lynch. She's putting her face there, so it looks like more than likely it's going to be something with Charlotte, which would be great. A good starter. We know how good Charlotte can make other wrestlers look, and especially with. And still like a newbie, which is Jade Cargill. It'll be great to go head to head. But no, that the adding of Nick Aldis is great, and it's a good way to go SmackDown. How is, like you're saying, having an exclusive GM, which he could start again, the battle between the brands like properly now, having two GMs separately. So that's a good thing.
And I think the interesting thing is that Nick Aldis is only 36, right? So he's got a lot of time to wrestle. So the fact that they brought him in like this, are they going to build him up to something to get in the ring? Yeah, they definitely will. So he's got that ability. It's exciting.
And the other thing we're going to talk about, like Crown Jewel. Where are you going to match confirmed, which is Drew McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins? What do you think about that?
Well, given what we've seen lately in the background with Drew and Rhea Ripley, I think Drew is going to. I don't know if he's going to beat Seth. But I think they're gonna find a way that Damian Priest ends up cashing in at Crown Jewel.
For the looks of it, it is talks.
I don't know if Drew's gonna help. I don't know if they're gonna double cross Drew or something. But something's gonna happen. And it's Crown Jewel. They pay that country pays a lot of money to have that event there. So something big has to happen. Because in terms of storylines, it doesn't really traditionally Crown Jewels doesn't really continue with storylines because. Just the way it is, but something big always happens, and I think that's what's going to happen there. It's going to involve obviously Drew and Seth and Damian Priest, and the Judgment Day is going to cost him or something, but Damian Priest is going to walk out of Crown Jewel as the WWE champion.
Let's hope.
Ooh.
It's about time.
I don't know about you guys, but this week I've heard rumblings that there's been a story that's been proposed that Damian Priest will drop the Money in the Bank case and someone else will get it.
Ooh.
That's what I'm hearing.
How can that happen?
I've heard that. I don't know. I've heard rumblings. There's going to be a match for the Money in the Bank bag. And so I'm hearing. I don't know. Don't be surprised if that happens at Crown Jewel as well.
That'll be weird. Really weird to have
I've never seen that before.
For the Money in the Bank. We know. No, actually, no. Like it has happened before.
It happened.
We know it happened with Otis. Otis lost it against Dolph Ziggler.
Otis.
He lost it against Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, it has happened before, but it's a really rare occasion. Look, it's too good of a story to make him drop it for no reason. Like there's no reason for him to drop it that right now. And the Judgment then wants all the gold. So look, the double cross to Drew McIntyre looks more of a possibility than him dropping it. But we'll see what happens. Because also in Crown Jewel we got Mami, Rhea Ripley defending the title against Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Raquel Rodriguez, bro. What the fuck? That can shape up to be the match of the night. Because of the caliber of wrestlers we're going to have there, man. It looks like we got two ex-MMA, and then we got Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, and Rhea Ripley. It's just beast on the freaking ring, man. What do you guys think about this five-way?
It's going to be a great fight. I don't see Rhea dropping the title. I really don't.
I mean, man, I don't see Rhea dropping that one. It's going to be a great match, man. A fatal five-way, insane, and I think that ticks the women quota, right, for Crown Jewel.
Yeah,
we could have all one hit.
That's gonna be weird to see. Well, Rhea normally is covered, but to see Rhea 100% covered, we've seen it, but it's gonna be weird because she normally doesn't have much. Everyone else actually they normally really covered anyways. None of them.
Even the referees.
Yeah, no, I would say, but in general, out of all the wrestlers, you see, like normally in show by show, like these are the wrestlers that normally are covered. They don't show much, except Mami. When she dropped the jeans, I didn't like it. I prefer Mami with the jeans. She looks better. But yeah,
I disagree.
Nah, I like it with the jeans. More of a badass look, with that thing. It looks like out of her, well, Mami's normally is, but whatever. But that's going to be fun. So that's going to be great to watch that match. And moving on to Raw this week, and I'm sorry, spoil it for Marseille, but I had to because it's important to what we're talking about. It's important, and after 2 days, man, come on, seriously. It's a bit too much. The social media kills for me all the time. I can't keep away from it. The big story is the Judgment Day got back all the gold. The Judgment Day is, again, tag team champions. The Jay and Cody Rhodes lost the titles. What do you guys think about this?
Mate, yeah, I didn't like Cody and Jay having the titles anyway, so I'm fine with that. I'm as much of a big fan as I am of Cody. I'm probably a bigger fan of the Judgment Day, so I'm not disappointed by that at all.
Fair point.
Yeah, we were surprised that when it happened, right? When Cody won with Jay
Uso.
Jay. Yeah. We were surprised when that happened. So, not surprised that it happened so quick. I think that was a lot to do with potentially the fan response. There was a lot of uproar that it happened, that Cody had and Jay had won so quick. And so I think that WWE listened to what the people were saying, and hey, they gave it back. It just doesn't make sense either that they gave it to him, and it's such a quick turnaround too. So,
well, Jimmy cost them the title, so it wasn't involving not just the Judgment Day, but also the Bloodline. So it looks like that partnership is still happening. Whatever Mami and Paul Heyman worked out is still happening. So it looks like Mami and the Big Dog, the head of the table, they got something cooking in there. So that's an interesting story. So it might see something happening there, including Drew McIntyre. So it looks like this story is just getting massive and massive now. We're getting more and more people into it, which is awesome. Look, the only problem I got with this, and I think I said it when they won the title, it was like, now that you give the title to Cody, you can't take it away from him that fast. And that's the first thing they did. They took him away from him too fast. What was the point of it?
That's a title.
I know, but still. But it's still, like if you give him the title to Cody Rhodes, you got to give him a run. Like, just give him a run. Like, what's the point? He's been waiting for a title run for a while. You give him the tag team titles, but you shouldn't give him in the first place because it makes no sense. It made no sense. And now, you took him away from him so fast. But it does make sense with the fact that the Bloodline got involved. So that's a good way to pick up the story again with the Bloodline. So in a good way, yes, it does make sense. It sucks that they took it away from him, but it took it away from him in a good way, which it wasn't in a clean way, which you got two of the heel factions getting together against these, against these faces, which also lights up the story between Jay and Jimmy. What's going to happen there? Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Because now they don't need to worry about the titles. You got the Judgment Day running Monday Night Raw with everything. Because remember, Dom is still the NXT North American champion.
Yeah,
we got Damian Priest with the titles. At the moment, Judgment Day has everything, plus the partnership with the Bloodline and whatever is happening with the Drew. And I think the good thing we gotta take away from this, like, something Rhea Ripley is going to be doing. Like, Rhea Ripley is the one getting involved in a lot of different stories. Like, she's talking to different people. She's doing like a Paul Heyman kind of stuff, but she's getting involved a lot. Like, it looks like she's the one running everything, which I loved. The fact that she's the one running everything and everyone's just kind of scared shitless of her, which is a great thing with Raw. A part of that today, that's not part of that. Sorry, in Raw, not much happened. I think that was the big part. I also forgot to say the split of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. How did I forget about that?
Different shows. Yeah,
Different days. What do you guys think about that? The split up of them.
Well, that was an interesting move, and I did manage to catch the first hour of Raw, and there was an interesting interaction between Sami Zayn and Jey Uso backstage, where basically Sami Zayn blamed Jey Uso for everything, for splitting up. The fact that he came back to Raw, that means he split up him and Kevin, because Kevin now had to go to SmackDown, and he got the shits with him, and he was basically like turning against him, and then he ran after him and said, no, sorry, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know. Like, I think I don't know. Is this Sami having a bit of a turn, like indicating a bit of a heel turn? Has Sami Zayn without Kevin Owens going to be as popular as they were? Have they already made enough money out of him as a face? Like, I don't know. I think something's going to happen. I mean, it's. I'm kind of glad they split them up, because as much as I like them, I also like to see them in singles competition. So yeah, it's got me interested, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a heel turn for Sami Zayn in the not too distant future.
Yeah, look, I'm surprised that they split them up. It's not like they've got a massive gamut of tag teams. So yeah, I was kind of shocked. It's good, like you said, Mars, that they both individually now will get a run. Where, I don't know where and how. As long as they don't send them to NXT, yeah, I'm happy with them separate. But I like them as a tag team, man.
Well, when they brought him into, when they announced Chaos a new superstar for SmackDown, Triple H literally said it, because Jay has left to Raw, we had to bring somebody from Raw to SmackDown. So they made it clear that was the reason behind it. So that might have something to play with. Now, something that a lot of fans looked at, and it was also really like a river touch, when KO is getting into a ring, before he walks out of when he's getting announced, he kind of turns back to see if Sami Zayn was coming out, and he realized he doesn't. He kept walking into the ring. That was a really little nice touch. A lot of people picked up on it. Kind of like realizing, fuck, they're really splitting us up. So I don't know. Sami Zayn is popular regardless. I guess they're popular as a singles, as a tag team. They're stronger. That's it. But they're really popular anyways. Sami Zayn is coming out of the heel phase. When he was with the Bloodline, so brought him back into a heel phase. I don't think it's a good idea. It shouldn't happen. I don't see why. There's no need for it. At the moment, it makes more sense. KO going heel. KO is a natural heel. And that'll be nice to see him as a heel. We know he has business to attend with the Bloodline, so that's still happening. So we got another guy that's going back to SmackDown that has problem with the Bloodline, so we got that happening there. So we added one more guy that's going for Roman Reigns' head. So now we got KO, Kieran Cross, Cody Rhodes, and LA Knight. So we got 4 guys going for Roman Reigns' head. So, like I said, the story is just getting bigger for the Bloodline. That's it. That's it. The Bloodline at the moment is absorbing everyone in some way, and we know that The Rock's daughter is coming in somewhere, sometime soon into the Bloodline, because we saw in NXT to Paul Heyman talking to her. That's a clear indication she's coming in. So that's going to be nice to see it in there. And just a lot of happening at the moment with the Bloodline. Bloodline is just picking up again really quick. As soon as Roman Reigns back in, it's just like this. The Bloodline story is coming back alive, stronger than ever. And we involving both brands, Raw and SmackDown somehow, which is great because it makes everything link each other somehow, and in a really good way. So technically you could see the Bloodline is running both shows, because if they got the partnership with the Judgment Day, they could be running both shows the Bloodline. But That's it with what's happening with SmackDown, with Raw, and AEW. We got some big things happening in AEW, especially today, but let's talk about last week a little bit, and then we jump into what happened today.
Yeah, look, I think one of the interesting things that's been happening in AEW has been the story of Adam Copeland. I'm not too sure if you guys saw the Adam Copeland Ricky Starks promo that happened on Collision, where they kind of went off script.
Yeah,
just a bit.
Just a little bit off script. But you know, from what the reports are, they just got heated. It was just one of those things that they didn't expect each other to kind of react at the way they did. But no, the cool thing about what we've learned in the last week with AEW is that now they're in business with CMLL, the oldest.
You missed one out.
CMLL. Yeah, CMLL. CMLL.
Yes.
The longest running wrestling promotion in the world, historically, they say. So that's something that's never happened. AEW has always had, dealings with New Japan, with AAA in Mexico, with Impact for a time. But bringing, say, CMLL, the oldest Mexican wrestling promotion and one of the oldest in the world. What are you guys' thoughts on that? That's going to be interesting.
Bueno, el Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, we know they also are involved in something else. So now at the moment, CMLL is involved in this conglomerate with, what was it connected to at the moment? I completely forgot. I just had it on the top of my tongue. But involves Impact and New Japan. If I'm not wrong, if I don't get it wrong. So they created this new group together. And now we bring in the other side, which is AEW with New Japan and AAA and Ring of Honor. So you got to put Ring of Honor in there. So what's happening? It's finally happening. All the wrestling promotions are getting together as one. Like we said, it could happen because never CMLL and AAA have gone together. The only time they've gone kind of together was with Los Perros del Mal. Were running everything because they were jumping in every single promotion, and they were just running to CMLL, AAA. They were just going everywhere. That was the only time they kind of worked together, but there always been that split between them. And of course, if you wrestle for one, you can't wrestle for the other. In Mexico, they kind of two split brands over there. So it's going to be really important because now we got the current champion going into Rampage to wrestle. So that's going to be interesting. And we had El Hijo del Vikingo not long ago wrestling in there. So this could leave the door open for eventually face-to-face between the CMLL champion and the AAA champion. That'll be absolutely insane in an AEW arena, which is even more crazy because that will bring every single Mexican fan to watch that match, no matter where it is, how it is. If it's on TV, they will pay for it because that's a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I think that's what AEW is trying to do, just bring those fans 100%. Because we said, outside United States, one of the biggest promotion in the world in the moment is AEW. That is being followed and watched more than WWE. WWE is huge in United States, 100%, unbeatable. But then outside United States, AEW is massive. They had a lot of fans. We saw in London how many people follow them, and everywhere. When they go Mexican, New Japan, which we know WWE have been trying to get in both markets for a long time. They haven't been able to get into those markets. Because it's really, really difficult. But AEW did it like this in 2 seconds. They were able to get into both markets really easy. So I don't know. This just leaves the door open for a lot of big things in the future.
Yeah, look, it's interesting because we've been talking about this for a couple of years now. That it's Tony Khan's dream to have a wrestling network, right? And I think that's what he's planning on doing. It is his end game goal, right? To have a pure wrestling network. And I think the stuff that he's moving with CMLL is in that step in that direction, right? So hopefully we get this dream of having this multiple federation wrestling channel all rolled into one, which would be absolutely amazing, man. It'll cater to the whole world, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about a forbidden door. There's one right there, and I'm not sure who it was, but I think it was MJF that was quoted as saying that he'd love to have a massive wrestling event at the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. I mean,
that's a big call.
What better? Like you put the champion of CMLL and the champion of AAA against each other, you'll fill that stadium. If you pack in AEW talent as well, like MJF and the top guys. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing the legendary Místico in AEW.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no, mate, I think it's fantastic, and I think it's, and look, as much as they may not, as much as they might be separate companies in Mexico, there are definitely benefits for both of them to be part 100%. Of AEW in terms of like international exposure. That's second only to like as you said WWE. But no, I'm really excited about that. Absolutely, yeah.
Look, I would love to see a four-way match between the CMLL heavyweight champion, the AAA heavyweight champion, AEW heavyweight champion, and the New Japan heavyweight champion. But the further in the ring. No title match. It doesn't need to be a title match, but definitely a main event. Put four of them
it couldn't
in the
be
ring.
A title match.
You make it the Forbidden Door title. Put in a name. It only happens once a year. The Forbidden Door title. The Forbidden title. Ooh, what a name! Listen, they're going to come out with it because they listen to us. We know. We got plenty of proof. Don't worry about it. We'll bring it up. So we're just giving the ideas in advance without getting paid for it, which sucks. Right. The Forbidden title, man. What a name. Perfect. This is the Forbidden title only for heavyweight champions. The 4 heavyweight champions can get to it and battle for it, you know? And then if the next year the current heavyweight champion is not a title anymore, he's the one giving the title to the champion again, you know, if we lose the title, any heavyweight, and it'll be great, you know. What a way to continue traditions they've been passed, especially in the Mexican wrestling, in New Japan wrestling Japanese wrestling for so long. I think this is a great thing. I think hopefully they do it. It will bring everyone. It will tune in everyone. It doesn't matter if you, whatever part in the world you are, if you're a wrestling fan, you will want to watch. Like it will be the most watched show in wrestling history. By far, you will have all Japan, all Mexico, and all United States and wherever else in the world to watch this Fighter 4 because it will be great, man. It will be absolutely mad and it will be awesome. Hopefully it happens. Hopefully it happens.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. You never know. But they listen to us. We know that.
You never know.
What's it called? So I think that we're getting to the end of it. I wanted to say something before we kind of start wrapping up. We go to the WrestleVerse. So Adam Pearce, so people doesn't know, he was 5-time NWA World Champion.
Yeah, he's a wrestler. Yeah,
he's a wrestler. It's just because he doesn't wrestle for a long time. He's 45. He does look at that, so he definitely can wrestle. Probably we can say, hey, there we go, Nick Aldis against Adam Pearce. I think that's what they're gonna do. There we go. That's what's gonna happen. That's the one match we're gonna see. The two GMs going face to face. That'll be great. Two ex-NWA champions. You got the longest reigning champion, the longest champion in the modern era. Nick Aldis against a 5-time champion. Ooh, that'll be a great match. But just people remember, the Adam Pearce will be there. Oh man, we just give another idea to WWE.
They wouldn't. WWE won't mention NWA, and the way that Nick Aldis left NWA. With that bit of a feud with Billy Corgan, he won't want to mention NWA either. So.
They don't need to mention. They don't need to mention. He's gonna make the match. They will know.
Yeah.
Everyone else will know. People will know. So that'll be great. That'll be nice. The two GMs going head to head. That'll be great. That'll be a match I'll watch. But then we get to the end of the wrestling, but we're going to the wrestling verse or the Renzo wrestling verse. What do you got for us this week, man?
Oh man, I've got a special. Wow, this one is one of those situations in my wrestling multiverse that I never thought would happen. It didn't even cross my mind that these
Here we
two
go.
would ever have met. Yeah, here we go.
Damn.
So this is from WWN. A company in the States are called WWN. They hold an event called Evolve, and this was 5 years ago. So if you look at this match, it's a match of Gunther. He was known as Walter. He did a lot of indie. He was in the indies a lot back before he was in WWE. And this is a match of Gunther versus Darby Allin.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Back when Gunther looked like he ate Gunther.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, so this one, if you look up Evolve 4K mini doc, it's actually a little. The start of it's a little mini documentary about Darby Allin and his struggles in wrestling and things like that, like typical Darby Allin does, before some of these matches. But the match itself is great, man. Gunther just throws him around like a rag doll. It is amazing. So watch that one. Gunther or Walter versus Darby Allin. Evolve 4K. Rod's got the link. We'll put it on the playlist. So yeah.
Man, it's full of superstars in there, man. Austin Theory is showing up. William Regal. What the hell?
Mm-hmm. William Regal's there.
Jeez. Zack Sabre.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
great.
Keith Lee.
Yeah, Keith Lee's in it. Yeah.
Keith Lee's in this freaking thing. Wow. This is a great thing. And a good Darby Allin style with the promo at the beginning. This is before Darby Allin started getting all the tattoos. But it looks exactly the same Darby Allin, to be honest.
Yeah, he looks the same.
He looks the
He looks
same.
exactly
How
the
was
same.
Darby Allin? How old was that in there? Because Darby Allin is not.
He's one of those guys that doesn't age.
Oh man, Jesus Christ. Darby Allin. How old is Darby Allin? Oh, let's have a look
Darby
at it.
Allin's, I think, 26, 27.
93, 30 years old.
He's 30.
Bro,
Wow.
he looks like 25.
He does.
He looks like he's
does.
in his 20s. Oh my God, crazy. He was married to Gigi Dolan, if you guys didn't know, by the way. 2 years they were together. Before
Wow.
Hey, we didn't talk about a major announcement today in AEW.
Oh yeah,
What happened?
fuck. Sorry.
Oh,
My bad. Yeah. Great recommendation, by the way, Renzo. We gotta say.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, we have to mention this. The great Sting has announced retirement. He said last time he had a retirement, he didn't feel like a retirement, kind of hinting that he got forced into it. So he wasn't really happy with it. And it was pretty, if you guys listen to the promo, you can tell he wasn't happy when what happened. But this time it's actually his retirement. It will be full gi this year. He said it, that will be his last match. Now, who's he gonna wrestle? I think the guy we're just talking about it. He has to be the last guy he wrestled, which is Darby Allin. I don't see anyone else worthy of giving the last match to Sting than Darby Allin. And what a way to go! Sting at the moment is 55. I think 60 something. Sorry, my bad.
60.
60.
Yeah.
Sting is it's about 60 now. What do you guys think? And what is your thoughts?
Yeah, look, interesting that he's announced his retirement. He's done some things this year that I didn't think that he would be able to do. He's saying it's harder for him to get up and things like that. It's time for him to move on. Not happy with the way he went out in WWE, but you're absolutely right. The only man that can give him a proper send-off would be Darby Allin, the guy that he's mentored throughout this whole AEW run.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. Look, it's pretty much wrestling etiquette or wrestling law, unwritten law that when you're a massive guy like that and you're going to retire, you usually you do it by doing the job for a young guy coming through, or not so young guy, but a guy that's moving up in the wrestling world. And I see Sting being that type of wrestler, and I definitely see Darby Allin as being the guy to retire Sting, which will be a huge thing, a huge boost for his career. Not that he needs it, but it's still going to be a huge boost.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, 100%. Like, and you guys said, and we've seen it. Like, he's took Darby Allin his wing for the last 2-3 years, and just making 100%. He's been the mentor. And everything, so it definitely will be his last wish, and he will tell Darby Allin, "This will be my last wish. You have to fulfill it, and we would no hold back, all out." And this will be, it won't last too long. This much, I reckon more than 50 minutes wouldn't go, but it'll be all out. Like they will make it like a street fight or a no DQ fight. They will make it with everything on it. They will smash the shit out of each other, and they will get with Darby Allin the coffin drop to finish off Sting, and it'll be a great way to finish and really emotional. Kind of like was Shawn Michaels with Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
It's gonna be that emotional. Not with that I love you, or probably will. Who knows? But it'll be that emotional because it means so much for Darby Allin. So they have to be like that. So Sting, great career, great comeback. I think his comeback was stronger than whatever run he had in WWE. Then it got short by Seth Rollins. We gotta say, that was a great run they were having until Seth Rollins fucked him up. But he did a good comeback in AEW, and he has a great run with Darby Allin and doing so crazy shit that at 64, man, I don't think many people will be doing at 64, to be honest. It'll break everyone's back.
And I'm sure we'll talk about it when he does retire, but he's had an illustrious career. Even when he used to be the guy that was like the guy that was never in WWF that should have always been. He always carried the torch for the other promotions. He was huge in WCW. And let's not forget where he started. He started off with the Ultimate Warrior. So,
Tag team.
Yeah.
He didn't know what wrestling was. The way he started, his story is great. Like, you guys watch the story as things started. He was a bodybuilder. He got into wrestling, and it's great the way it happens. But with this, we get into the end of our episode this week. I think full of wrestling. What's happening in the next few days is going to be nuts, especially with what's happening in SmackDown. Continue with the Bloodline and the story, what Roman Reigns is going to say, because now we're going to have Roman Reigns happening then to Crown Jewel probably, and see what happens later on. Anything to say, guys, before we go?
Just quickly, man. I know it's not. I've got two predictions. One of them that just came into my head during the show, and that's wrestling related.
Yeah.
I'll do that one second. First one's not wrestling related, but it's UFC related. And my tip is that Volkanovski, the great Alex Volkanovski, will win his second UFC title this weekend. Coming in late, coming in with 10 days to prepare for the fight against the absolute beast. I can't remember his name, but he's an absolute gun. He's a machine. Volk, he only just beat Volk on the last occasion, so Volk's going to get in this time, I think. And my second prediction, I'll make it short and sweet, Randy Orton to come back for the Royal Rumble.
Oopa. There's a lot of talks about Islam Makavi. That's the guy. He beat him by decision.
It's going to be good, man.
Great prediction for the UFC, man. Fuck.
Yeah, man. It's going to be great.
Renzo?
No, a new week of wrestling is upon us. So the stuff that's happening in AEW is great as well with Jay White. Jay White is on fire in AEW at the moment. Adam Copeland, he's recently just they've trademarked a name for a faction, so it's going to be rated FTR. So he's going to join with FTR. So that's a pretty cool name, rated FTR. It's looking good this week in the world of wrestling.
Nice, very good, man. And the world of fighting, man, that's how with this good ones. And go, knocking out Tyson Fury, that could be a good one too. So with that, with Sin Brass and Renzo, the voice of violence, the natural heel, Marce, my name is Rodrigo, Divus Lucha HSP. We'll see you next week.